Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and restless Jordan and Ian made it clear that they intend to exact revenge on Claire and Maria if they fail to behave appropriately contrite for abandoning them and taking up with the Newman family. Given that every other scene these days tells us just how much Claire loves her new life, it's a foregone conclusion that Jordan will decide to punish Claire for her disloyalty. What better way to do that than to break her heart? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the best way to hurt Claire would be to go after either her new family or her new love. But whom will she target? Well, it may not matter, as the outcome is likely to be the same regardless. What do we mean by that? Keep reading. Claire's new romance with Kyle is blossoming into a full-blown love story. Jordan's already in the loop on the cozy new relationship and could decide that her great niece needs to watch and die as retribution for turning her back on her. Youngster Harrison proved to be an easy target in Jordan's last evil go-round, but Kyle will be a tougher nut to crack. That said, we don't think for a moment that she wouldn't take her best shot at it. Also in the line of fire is Claire's mother, Victoria. In Jordan's twisted mind, she raised Claire, so the young woman rejecting her and her indoctrination in favor of embracing her biological mom and rejoicing in joining the Newman fold is the height of treasonous behavior. What better way to punish Claire than to separate her from her mother for good? Victoria's death would devastate Claire and tear the Newmans to shreds. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. The bottom line, however, is that Kyle is an Abbott and Victoria is a Newman. Neither of these core characters are likely to be shuffling off this mortal coil anytime soon. But there is someone Claire loves who is more, shall we say, expendable. That person would be Claire's father, Cole. Given that Jordan's entire agenda purportedly revolves around vindicating her sister Eve's death, it doesn't seem reasonable that she would target her nephew. But we're sure the madwoman could find a way to rationalize it. Perhaps she'd tell herself that Claire left her no choice but to send Cole to his grave, and that she's reuniting her late sister with her son. She sure didn't mind luring him to her house and drugging him when this whole nightmare kicked off. It's also possible that Cole will become a casualty of Jordan aiming her crosshairs at Victoria or Kyle. If he jumps in to play hero, as Cole is wont to do, he might end up taking a bullet and experiencing a noble but heartbreaking end. Either way, our hunch is that Jordan's inevitable revenge plot against Claire means that Cole is living on borrowed time. Victor dropping his grudge and welcoming Victoria's ex into the fold was not a good sign. Seasoned Young and Restless fans and So Pizza readers know all too well how this works. The most expendable character is typically the one to go. Some would even say the author-turned-Oxford professor needs to go, given that his rekindled romance with Victoria is not exactly burning up the small screen. Soap operas are a genre that thrives on suspense, drama, and character arcs filled with emotional highs and lows. One of the most common questions among avid fans of shows, like The Young and the Restless, is, will this character survive, or will they be written out of the series? For decades, this question has captivated audiences as they follow the complex lives of soap opera characters. In the case of The Young and the Restless, a character whose fate has recently been in question is Cole. This question, will Cole die, reflects not only the concerns of the fans, but also taps into a broader cultural fascination with life and death scenarios in television. Soap operas are known for their sudden twists, unexpected deaths, and surprising returns, so it's not uncommon for viewers to feel the emotional tension as they wonder what will happen next. Cole's character, much like other soap opera figures, has been through a series of ups and downs. He has witnessed betrayals, passionate love affairs, moments of redemption, and most recently, a series of tense storylines that have left fans on the edge of their seats. His relationships with other central characters, his ambitions, and his moral compass have all been carefully woven into the broader fabric of the show. As soap operas often do, Cole's character has evolved, bringing new dimensions to his personality and motivations. However, with such character depth and the complex relationships Cole shares with others, it begs the question, is this the beginning of the end for him? Soap operas are synonymous with shock value. The unexpected death of a beloved character, whether due to a sudden accident, murder, or illness, is an event that sends ripples through the narrative and the fanbase. It stirs up both real-world and in-universe emotional reactions, creating an intense atmosphere. In The Young and the Restless, this tactic is no stranger. Fans have seen beloved characters meet untimely deaths only to return from the grave, or sometimes to remain lost in the story. This uncertainty around whether a death will be permanent or if a character will be resurrected fuels the suspense. In the case of Cole, the narrative has been built in such a way that it's unclear whether his impending fate is a permanent departure or a temporary hiatus. Fans have long speculated whether Cole is about to meet an untimely demise, or whether the show will find a way to keep him alive, perhaps under some miraculous circumstance. For fans of The Young and the Restless, the question of whether Cole will die is one that has become more pronounced in recent months. Several key clues have led to the rumors circulating that his death might be imminent. These include his increasing involvement in dangerous storylines, his emotionally charged interactions with loved ones, and his struggle with personal demons. Writers often use these elements to set the stage for a dramatic exit, making Cole's storyline ripe with the potential for an eventual tragic conclusion. His most recent entanglement with a dangerous adversary, coupled with hints from teasers and trailers released by the show's production team, has left many believing that Cole may not make it out alive. This speculation was further fueled by the show's track record of introducing highly intense scenarios that lead to the untimely deaths of major characters. The constant threats to Cole's life seem to be escalating, and in the world of soap operas, this could mean a looming death sentence for him. What makes Cole's potential death even more suspenseful is the emotional stakes tied to his relationships with other characters. Soap operas excel at building deep, interconnected relationships, and The Young and the Restless is no exception. As viewers, we have seen Cole grow close to certain characters, and his death would have profound implications for those left behind. The devastation and turmoil it would bring to his family, friends, and romantic partners would create a fertile ground for future storylines. These complex webs of relationships and unresolved issues make a character's death all more impactful. Cole's love life, in particular, has been a point of interest. His romantic entanglements with certain characters could be foreshadowing an emotional storyline that ends in tragedy. Soap operas often use love interests to heighten emotional tension, and with Cole's past relationships being a significant part of the plot, his death could mark a pivotal moment in the show's narrative trajectory. While the rumors and suspense around Cole's death seem to be building, there's one thing that keeps fans from completely accepting it as inevitable: the long tradition of characters being presumed dead, only to return months or even years later. Soap operas are infamous for their use of cliffhangers and shocking twists, and in this genre, death is never truly final. Characters have been brought back from the dead, often for dramatic and narrative reasons. The potential for a return would not be out of place in The Young and the Restless. If Cole were to be written off as dead, it would be wise to remember the legacy of soap operas where characters return against all odds. Perhaps Cole's death would be a temporary plot device, only to have him reappear when least expected. Alternatively, the show's writers might choose a different route, one where Cole's death would leave a lasting impact, but he would never return. In this sense, the drama of his death could take on even greater significance. It's important to acknowledge the significant role that audience engagement plays in soap operas, especially with fan theories and online forums that discuss spoilers, potential deaths, and possible character arcs. With social media, fans are able to voice their concerns, hopes, and theories in real time, which influences the direction of the show. Showrunners may sometimes take these fan reactions into account when deciding the fate of key characters. Cole's potential death is likely to stir up such discussions and anticipation. Conclusion: a fate left in the hands of the writers. Will Cole die in The Young and the Restless? Only time will tell. What is certain is that the suspense surrounding his fate is a testament to the power of soap opera storytelling. Whether he survives or meets a tragic end, the journey is far from over, and fans can be sure that the consequences of his fate will reverberate throughout the show for a long time. At the end of the day, the beauty of soap operas lies in their ability to keep viewers guessing, wondering, and emotionally invested in the lives of their characters. Whether Cole lives or dies, one thing remains clear: his impact on the show, and on the hearts of fans, will never truly fade.